Hello everybody, Ruben here, bringing you today's Week 5 PPL D2 battle between the Cleveland Bros and the Pittsburgh Pirattatas. Like I said last week, unfortunately Chaos in the Sky had to drop out, so Old Man Tup is replacing him. This is super exciting for me. I've watched a ton of his battles and I was really looking forward to this match. So from his team, the first thing I noticed was he didn't bring Metagross, which means that my Florges is going to have a hell of a lot better time. So let's go over the team that I'm bringing. First of all, I'm bringing, like I said, Florges, holding a Lumberry with Substitute, Calm Mind, Synthesis, and Moonblast. As you can see over there, I have enough speed EVs to outspeed uninvested Melodic. The special defense is, after a Calm Mind, I can take a Sludge Bomb from Amoonguss. The special attack is, after Calm Mind, I Oko, Charizard, and Terrakion, and the rest I just put in HP because it helped tank hits a little bit better. The next thing I'm bringing is Goldberg. Landorus T, part of my win condition here, holding the Smooth Rock, Stealth Rock, Sandstorm, Earthquake, Explosion. Yeah. Next up is Mega Slowbro with Scald, Psychic, Calm Mind, and Slack Off. I didn't bring Aromatherapy on the Florges, but I brought a more offensive Slowbro. I know I've been trying Slowbro to set up and take on the entire team, when in reality I just need to have Slowbro focus on what it needs to take out and what it needs to check, and leave the rest for the rest of the team. Next up is my win condition Excadrill, holding a Life Orb, Sand Rush, Sword Stance, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Rapid Spin. The plan is Landers set up Stealth Rocks, set up Sandstorm, Explode, bring in Excadrill. Excadrill can live one hit from anything that's not a Terrakion or a Mega Charizard X, set up the Sword Stance, and then sweep the rest of his team. I need these Stealth Rocks up to ensure that I can kill the Mandibuzz. Without it, Rock Slide, +2 Rock Slide does not pick up the kill, so the Stealth Rocks on Landorus is important. Next up is kind of my safety net is Styles, the Thunderous T, holding the Focus Sash. Now, I know that I set up Sandstorm with Lando, and I have a Focus Sash on Thunderous. That's more if I don't get the opportunity to set up the Sand. Thunderous is there to kind of help me pick up what I need to kill. And finally, I'm bringing Snorlax, the glue of the team. This is the only real defensive member of the team. It can live a close combat from Terrakion, as long as there's no boost on that, and it's Jolly. After I set up with Curse, I can kill it with an Earthquake, Rest, Chesto Berry to kind of set up a little bit and get my health back. And Toxic there, of course, for the Melodic and everything else that Earthquake can't really touch. So that's the team. I had a couple of practice battles, and I felt super comfortable going into it. And let's see how this one goes. So, like I said, my win condition is that Excadrill. So I wanted to lead with my Landorus. He makes that prediction, leads with his Melodic. He prepped well for this, because after the Intimidate, you see that he brought competitive Melodic. This means he gets +2 to his special attack, and that's scary for Goldberg. Goldberg can live on Ice Beam from Melodic, but it can't live a +2. So I go out into my safe switch in, which is my Florges. Melodic goes for the Ice Beam. Even if I would've got frozen, I had the Lumberry there. I go for Sub, outspeeding the Melodic, uninvested. Toxic, doesn't work. I go for Calm Minds, and right now Florges is having a little fun here, because after I get some setups, Melodic can't do anything about it. This is, I wanted to bring a Florges set that wasn't as cookie cutter and as by the books. I knew if I wanted to win, if I need to get on the right track, I need to bring some sets that really are different and hard to prepare for. And I felt that Florges was the prime example of this here, especially without the Metagross. So eventually enough Scalds will break the sub, and I'm not taking any chances here. He switches into Amoonguss. I'm resetting up that sub, and I'm at a quarter health, so I go ahead and Synthesis up, and I'm expecting Sludge Bomb here from this Amoonguss. And I know I can live. I know my substitute can live, but he goes for Clear Smog. At the time, I didn't know if Clear Smog went through substitute, and now I know it does not. So I'm going to keep setting up Calm Minds because at +3, Moonblast only does max 48%. So I wanted to ensure that I can get to over half, so when he switches back in, I don't have to worry about Excadrill being at +2 to kill Amoonguss. So right now I'm still setting up some Calm Minds in the hopes that, that he's just going to stay in and I can straight up sweep with my Florges. So after a few clear smogs, eventually the substitute breaks, and I knew he was going to switch here because he wasn't getting much covered, but I went for the sub just to ensure that I can kill something. I didn't want to make I don't know, go for Moonblast and it stays in and it hits me with a clear smog. So he goes into his Mega Charizard X, sacking it to break my sub. And Charizard X was a little bit scary. I had Mega Slowbro to kind of deal with it. I had Snorlax to kind of deal with it. But the fact that Florges behind the sub at +4 can just straight up kill was awesome. So Charizard is one less thing I don't have to worry about. The only thing he bring in now to kill Florges was Terrakion. So unfortunately I have to switch out here. I go into Goldberg, maybe to start the process of Excadrill sweeping. He goes for Stone Edge, the thing that hits Goldberg the hardest, and it does a good chunk, even at -1. And in comes the Mandibuzz. I go for the Stealth Rock here, and I'm still getting greedy here. I don't know what this Mandibuzz wants to do to me. I don't know if it can do anything to me. I know I have a Lumberry on Florges, so why not just switch in here? And now here comes a knockoff. There goes my Lumberry. But I can still set up a sub, and I don't think this Mandibuzz can do much to me. I think I can still sweep with my Florges. But it has Brave Bird. So Brave Bird's going to break the sub, but something that I noticed is he has knockoff and Brave Bird, which means he probably doesn't have foul play on this Mandibuzz. It probably has Brave Bird, knockoff, defog, roost. So that's good to know, and I'm just trying to get Florges up to enough health that if I need to, I can sub back up on the Melodic if that event comes. So as long as I don't get crit here, I'm gonna keep getting more health back, and I'll be in good shape for a future switch in with Florges. Now in pregame I was really deciding, do I want to go with Synthesis, do I want to go with Wish in case I need to Wish into Excadrill at some point, but I felt that Florges with Synthesis sub Calm Mind was really needed. So Florges has enough health to make a substitute. I switch out and I go into my Landorus because, again, Brave Bird knockoff. He can't really do much to Landorus, especially if at -1. So after the Intimidate, I think I'm going to have fun with Lando here. But after this Brave Bird, you can see the massive damage that it just did to me. It's a crit. So I'm kind of sweating here, thinking, oh man, will I be able to pull off the explosion on Landorus? I see Sandstorm is important because I still need the Excadrill to sweep here. I already have Stealth Rocks up. He goes for knockoff. I'm expecting this to kill, and I live on 2, which means one thing. I can go boom. So with 2 HP, after setting up the sand, after setting up rocks, Landorus is here to explode and give a free switch in to my Excadrill. This also does enough damage that I don't even need to go to +2 to kill with my Excadrill. As long as he didn't roost there, Excadrill was guaranteed to either set up or kill, depending on what this Mandibuzz wanted to do. So, in comes Excadrill. Sand is up. Life Orb intact. I go for Swords Dance. which means everything dies right here, right now. As long as he doesn't knock off my life orb. He goes to roost. This thing's dead. I win. Straight up sweep right here with my Excadrill. Ball game. At +2 with a life orb, adamant nature in the sand, outspeeding everything. Excadrill wins me the game. I go for Rock Slide and I miss. He goes for knock off, gets rid of my life orb, and this matters because this is still a roll to kill. After the sand, I don't know if it's so much a roll, but I still needed that life orb to kill other things like the Melodic. And luckily I get a crit here to make up for the crit on Landorus. And that's a dead Mandibuzz. Excadrill is at +2 in the sand. I can still do a lot as long as I don't miss a Rock Slide right here. Rock Slide goes off. Connects. That's a dead Mismagius. And that's one less thing that Mega Slowbro has to deal with. So Excadrill picks up 2 kills. In comes the Amoonguss. After rocks. At +2. This wasn't a roll. This was a kill. And Excadrill, 3 kills. The plan is working. At this point, I am so hype sitting there playing. And in comes his Melodic. I look at my calcs. I see that he has a good chance of living this Earthquake if he's max defensive after the rocks. Earthquake goes off. Doesn't kill. Here comes a Scald. As long as I don't get burned, I can live. And I don't get burned. I live. The sand goes away. Had I still had my life orb, had I not missed the Rock Slide, that would be a dead Melodic. And I would still have enough speed to outspeed Terrakion in the back. So, dead Melodic, no sand, which means here comes Terrakion, it outspeeds, and I don't get to pull off the full team sweep. But I need to switch out. I'm preserving differential here. I'm in the middle of the pack. I want to get to the top, and at the top it really matters with differential. So I go into Slowbro, and I am not invested in defense, and that does a shit ton. I was kind of worried if he would have gotten a crit, how things would have gone. And I know that Psychic is a roll, so I need to keep slacking off to make sure that I can live, to make sure that I have enough health that if my Psychic doesn't kill, that I don't die and potentially blow the game here. I still have a sashed Thundy T in the back, so I wasn't really worried if I'm going to lose. It's just how bad am I going to win. These Stone Edges are still doing a shit ton to Mega Slowbro. This is a Mega Slowbro. After the Psychic, luckily I pick up the kill, and I pick up the 5-0 win over Old Man Tup. This was just awesome. Excadrill got to pull off a mini sweep. Lando got to go boom. Florges got to sit behind a sub and kill Charizard. I didn't even need to bring Snorlax to this game. Thundy T was just in the back in case. So this was all around a great, fun, awesome match on my part. On Tup's part, granted he didn't draft the team, so cut him some slack there. Thanks for the match, Tup. Excadrill in the top 3 of the Golden Pokeball race, only behind Megalopunny. So hopefully next week, if we beat Paul and the Thunderbolt and Wanderers, Excadrill might get a couple more kills, maybe go cut the difference. So stay tuned for that match, and stay tuned for more PPL action.